So we're going to talk about training horses. It gets a little confusing within the server as we do have 2 horse scripts. The easiest way to differentiate between what horse you have is if you have to come and talk to an NPC in game and the icon on the map is a horseshoe with a black background. So I'm going to open my map. So this right here, this means it's a KD horse if you're coming in here to talk to somebody. Now, if you go to this white horseshoe and you're not talking to an NPC, you're not having anything, you just open an open stable menu, that is a Sire horse. So there's 2 different scripts that we have. Our custom horses are KDs, and our Sires, you get a lot of different breeds like quarter horses, Friesians, Holsteiners, those kind of things, you'll get in this stable. So if you're trying to figure out, okay, well, I have a horse and I'm trying to train it, there is 2 different ways of training these horses. So we'll start with Sire horses, which is these. And currently I'm on a Sire horse. So this is a horse that was wild caught. Any of our wild caught horses are Sires. There's a few other things you can do with Sire horses like rescue missions and such. However, those get a little buggy. If you do a wild caught horse for a rescue mission, you get bugged out. So usually we just advise to buy a Sire horse if you want to do rescue missions or anything like that. But this is one of the Grulia Mustangs that you can catch out in the wild. So for this guy, if I go over here, so if I can look on this map, there's this little horse head with this 4 circle around it. That's a training location. So if you come up to this location, we'll just walk on up to it. And we'll just wait for prompts to start training. If I hit enter, it's going to say you can't train this horse. That means this is a Sire horse, and you have to train this horse at a saddle icon. So the saddle icons, you'll see there's a training right here. So we're going to go over to that. So we'll just jump up, and we'll go find this training. Where is this from here? It's actually back the other way. And there's a difference in the way you train these horses too. So Sire horses, you have one type of training. You have your normal bonding, and then you also have just XP, really, for training. And Sire horses, it's a 15,000 XP training limit. And so you can do that by running any of these courses. So you can see I have start training. Horse XP is 4,300. So I would press enter, and it's going to have a cutscene. And then I have this training course to go run. And there's a variety of these around the map. So for Sire horses, it is 15,000 XP. You would do these training courses. You can ride around. You can groom them. You can feed them. There's a variety of ways you can train them and get that XP up. But you would get the best cost if you go to sell the horse if they were at 15,000. Now, if you're training and it goes up to 15,000, that's just part of the script. That until you send that horse back, then it keeps on counting. If you pull that horse back out afterwards, it will be back to 15,000. So you can see that off that training I earned 300 XP. So next up we'll go and call out my KD horse, and they don't really like this property too much for some reason. So I'm just going to run over here and whistle and call him out. He should show up somewhere. We'll give him a second to show up. If not, I can go pull him out of the stable. So that's mainly Sire horses. It's just a lot of riding to go around, and you have the bonding, and at different levels of bonding they will do different things like a rear on command, so like that. You also have the sliding stop. So sliding stop. There's a few other features you can do very similar to online or RDR. And this happens sometimes with KDs, like I deleted a horse before. They kind of just don't come back. So what you can always do is go back in here. We'll go into the stable. So this is when you know you have a KD horse. So get off this guy. And you're going to walk up to this NPC, and there's a variety of NPCs throughout the entire map. And you're going to hit enter to enter the stable. And you're going to see a menu like this. And sometimes you'll see also a breeding option at the very bottom, because these horses you can do breeding with. So we're going to go into Horse Manager, Manage Owned Horses, and then we're going to go and we'll just find one. So let's go ahead and find one of my new guys that needs trained. So find one. And the way that I know if they need trained is you see on the left side there's speed, acceleration, health, and stamina, and handling. These are all things we can train them with. So let's see. So that guy's already trained on speed. Most of my horses are already maxed on speed. So this guy, easy game, she's a foal that I recently had, so she needs some speed, some acceleration, health, stamina, and some handling. Let's see if there's anyone else that needs some training. So we'll take this one out again. So this one I already had. So he's got a little bit of speed he's trained on, acceleration, he needs some health and stamina, and then his handling is currently as high as it's going to be. You can sometimes get them to elite as well. So you'll have this cutscene to go ahead and saddle them up. This works mainly on map stables. And so we'll go ahead and jump on him. And like this, someone is coming over to train. So our biggest thing is we want to try to share training areas. Okay, so I kindly asked this player if we could just share the training for a second. So I can kind of show how this training works. So we'll ride this horse in here, and then we'll go to the spawn point is about right here. We'll do the start training. And so for him, let's go ahead and do speed training. I'm going to press and hold. And so this one is barrels. There is a wide variety. There's either track racing, there's barrels, there's kind of some cross country, it's a large variety, and we custom make these training courses. So like this one is barrels, and you just run the course, and then you earn points, and you train your horse up. The nice thing is you can actually tell when your horse is getting trained better over time, and just because the handling gets better. But that is kind of how you train your KDs versus your sire horses. With sires, once in a while, we would throw out like a double XP day, so you guys can train up your horses much quicker. And that's just kind of a gift to the community to be able to train a lot of horses very quickly, because we all like to collect them. And that's kind of just how we do some fun things within the server. KDs, we don't really have the ability to do that. The nice thing with KDs is their stamina and their health you actually gain while you're riding them. So going on trail rides, doing competitions with them, actually putting time on their backs will absolutely get them more of those kind of perks. The goal always is to get them max trained before you do selling or anything, or even performing with them, because then they are the best peak performance. So if you have any more questions about KD versus sire horses and the training or anything involving them, go ahead and drop a comment in below, and I can answer them as they come in. Other than that, enjoy training.